Alright, I am starting up the stream. Looks like the stream is going. Hi everyone, I'm TigerHawk3, and today I'm going to go for a digital road trip in digital Europe with my digital truck. I think when I last left off, there weren't really any good deliveries. What the heck? I've seen this once before. Didn't know what it meant. I just kinda kept going. Don't really know what that means. But let's see what we've got. Let's do some of these. You're late! Draft my... which way do we have to go? Okay. It's all well and good to be screaming at me that I'm late, but I do have to see where I need to go. Alright. I think this is actually one of the first trucks I ever drove on some quick job somewhere. It was very blurry. Because, the scaling. Yeah. Probably didn't really have to hurry very much. Ooh, 4 reverse gears. Neat. It's an interesting trailer. What's in this? Packed glass. Interesting. I don't know what that means. Packed glass. So that's not like glass panels, but it's something else? I don't know. Wrong button. There we go. That little pause at the end. I'm like, didn't I just get rid of the trailer? Didn't I just... Don't need that. Wow, that is no XP. 15. What was wrong with it? Let's check that again. Oh, they're all gone. Never mind. Where is that? It's all the way over here, but it ends in 23 hours. Maybe I can go there. Need to go to Bratislava. There's kinda nothing going that direction, is there? Anything from here? Going over there? No. That's sorta close. This is a little better. Okay, let's get this one. I'll have to drive to Graz first. But that is an easy 3-hour trip with no trailer. So is it on right now? I think it's on. Now it's on. How was the information display on when the car is not on? Like, look at this. That's what it should have looked like. But it didn't. probably what I should do to verify that my car is on. Poke my head out the window. Is it on? Is this working? Probably turn off the brake. Alright. What the? Since when did I get multiple What truck is this? What am I driving? This is my car. What just happened? Is this the game change that the game was talking about? Because I am absolutely certain this did not have reverse gears. We can go to a previous stream and look at me backing a trailer into a spot, and clearly see that it doesn't say R1, it just says R. But okay, I like that. Being able to go a little faster while backwards. I don't know. In theory, these are modeled after actual trucks. So I don't know why they would have a transmission that's just like wrong. Accidentally added a transmission with only one reverse gear. That's an interesting bug. I don't know. I am absolutely certain this truck did not used to have multiple reverse gears. That's very weird. Very weird. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Really weird. Whose truck is this? Did I accidentally get into the wrong truck outside the diner? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop the boat. That's better. Alright. Had to exit over there. Kinda went in the lane going the wrong direction. It's all good. It's not even my truck, apparently, feels like. Seriously. When did it get, like, did they just patch it in? Was there an update on Steam that I didn't notice? I don't know. But suddenly my truck has multiple reverse gears because it suddenly acquired them. I don't know. From the transmission fairy. Left it under the chassis. I don't know. That's the best explanation I've got. A patch did stuff. I can very easily reach high speeds. Is there anything above 12 in this direction? No? Okay. They figure you probably don't really want to go too much faster than 100 miles an hour. Probably not. Whoa. Is this saying sharp turn? No, it's just saying it's a turn. Okay. Okay. For those who for those who have seen some of my streams on the DX Wind documentation, that project is going nicely, I think. I recently added one more command line switch to the documentation and fixed something. There was a yellow icon and I was calling it red. I think it like used to be red in some version and then was changed to yellow, and I hadn't updated the thing. So it was like, it will be red as shown, and it's like a yellow circle. That's cool. But changed a few of the images to be JPEGs rather than... almost got away with it, almost. It's right here, Screech! Changed a few of the pictures to JPEGs. So I'm going to what, Bratislava? Wien. Anything else? All the way over here. Wien to Brno. That's a little too far. Let's do that. There's my trailer. R1, I didn't have that before. I honestly didn't. I'm gonna have to fix that. Much faster, wow. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And on we go. We're going to go to Wien. Wien? Wien, I don't know. And then we will drive to nearby Bratislava. And then we will get a nice high-paying job to London. Seriously, it's very disconcerting that suddenly I have a different transmission in the truck. It's weird. It's weird, I tell you. What am I hauling here? I don't know. 18 tons of sawdust panels. What's a sawdust panel? Do they mean particle board? I have no idea. No idea. But we're gonna drive it to the city whose name I cannot pronounce. Maybe. I'm sure I could pronounce it given enough tries. The city whose name I cannot pronounce with certainty of that pronunciation's correctness. So yeah, DXWind is going fine. I actually made a little Python script to look through all the images that I was using in the project. I put them all into a folder, listed all of the file names, went through them, and then using PIL, the pillow fork, which is it's an imaging library for Python. And how is this turn? Is this okay? That's fine. And turned all the PNGs into JPEGs, and then went through the HTML files and decided and looked at the sizes of both both sets of images, and then decided whether to replace the existing links from a PNG to a JPEG. But honestly, I could have just read through the thing and said, you know, this picture is one I have not converted to a JPEG, so I'm going to open that and save it as a JPEG in like Paint or whatever, and then see how big it is. Could have just done that. But I got to write a fun program that wasn't very useful in the end. But I have it. If there were tons of images that I didn't want to mess with, then I could totally do that, and it would optimize the file size. But I feel like I'm going way too fast for this turn. Yeah, I was going way too fast for that turn. Kinda slammed on the brakes. I don't have I have many kinds of brakes, but I don't have, like, extra beefy ones. Like, I have a 750 horsepower engine, but I do not have nitrous. I have an engine brake, a retarder, a handbrake, air brakes, and a trailer brake. But none of those are intended to simulate hitting the brick wall, sort of thing. So, how are we doing? We're doing fine. Fine, just fine. So tomorrow is more Tetris. I don't know which feature exactly we'll implement. Maybe rotate, and then we can rotate pieces into place and actually start building up toward a Tetris. I think that's probably a good choice. Yeah. We could do the row clearing feature when you complete a row, but it would be kind of hard to test that if we can't rotate pieces and actually play Tetris. So first I will make sure we can rotate the pieces, and then I will use that to do other stuff. It's gonna be cool. I'm not entirely sure on how the rotate is gonna work. I know I can easily rotate the shape, which is the 2D list, a kind of pure representation, kind of console-wise of that, and but the pieces on the canvas. Oh, Parth Sharma is in chat. Hello. I'm ruminating about Tetris tomorrow. I know how to rotate a shape, because I have the little module that can rotate anything easily, even in 45-degree increments, which we're not gonna do. We technically could, I guess, but that would be really weird. That would be interesting, actually. Tetris where you can rotate it by 45 degrees. Odd. I don't see any reason why my program would not be able to do that. But I'm not gonna. Because that would not be Tetris. Would not be Tetris. Ooh, I have to exit over here. Slam on all the brakes. There we go. Alright. I suppose I could look at the piece. Oh, it's right there. The destination. Cool. But the way we are storing our shape is such that there is at least one filled cell in the top row, the bottom row, left column, and right column. Not all of them, not all cells in those places necessarily, but at least one thing. So I guess those could define the limits of the piece. I could go through all of the pieces created rectangles and find the... No, I think I have the coordinates in another list. So I can just find the minimum and maximum values, and that will define the rectangular field, kind of. That was kind of bumpy. So that should work, I think. Yeah, reverse gears. Did I not put down my wheels? I don't think I did. Whoops. Better late than never. Whoa. That goes pretty fast. I'm not used to that. That's not gonna work very well, is it? Not really. That's better. I think. Not by much, but we will fix it. That should be reasonable. Once I have the minimum and maximum values for the canvas coordinates, still thinking about that, it's interesting. Once I do that, I'll be able to define those as the 0 coordinates basically, and just reconfigure for each square in the shape. If there's something in there, I'll say reconfigure one of the... I can just pop pieces out of the active shape. I can just say pop this piece and reconfigure it there. No, I have to... No, that's... I still have to use those. So I will just reconfigure them. Zip something might come in handy. I don't know. But when we are done implementing that feature, we'll be able to rotate stuff. So that's going to be really cool. That's going to be really cool. 101. Let's go there. It's an hour away. I'm not sure how much we'll do in today's stream. I'll pick up those wheels. Hopefully I'll remember to put them back down when I get a trailer. So for Tetris, we're gonna add rotating the piece. We're going to add, I think, a kind of immediate drop to the bottom sort of thing. Some implementations have that. I guess it'd just be move the piece downward as much as possible. Something like that. And then maybe only reconfigure the piece on the canvas at the end. I don't know. Because otherwise I would have to re-implement all that logic to search for whether it's okay to move a piece. I don't know. Maybe it would be a special kind of move down sort of thing, where it just keeps looping, increasing the row. Yeah, I have to turn here. So maybe it just could have a loop to keep increasing the row until no longer possible. There's that. There is rotating pieces. The settle method. Losing. Clearing rows. Updating the look and feel, which is important. Which is a thing and does matter. Not necessarily the first thing you want to mess with. But it does matter. Like if your program has typos. Yes, fix those. Definitely fix those. Whoa. Almost fell over. That's okay. That's okay, that's fine. This is kind of city streets stuff. Surface streets is what there is the technical term for that. Room screech, room screech. Did you see all the trees popping into existence on the hill over there? Yeah, that's fine. Tiny trees on a distant hill, not a huge deal. Oh, it's right in here, it's right in here. Plus 50 XP for 100 kilometers of free roam. Yeah. $100K, 64 euros per kilometer. That's substantial. Adequate. I revel in my adequacy. All this adequatulence. It's from an old show called News Radio. Funny show. 90s, early 2000s, somewhere in there. They had like wired telephones and faxes. That sort of stuff. Wheels. That is a 25-hour trip. Actually, I go kind of 50 to 100% faster than it intends. So this 26-hour trip is probably going to take 15 to 20 hours. Random strangers in chat. Hey, how's it going? Chat's a little slow tonight, but that is okay. Just blew through a stop sign. It's okay, there's no pedestrians. Pedestrians only exist on sidewalks, behind guardrails. That is how they work. That is the fundamental existence of a pedestrian. I want to get out to the freeway so we can really book it. Barely going 97. Like, come on. Oh, we have to turn up ahead. Can't go that fast. What am I hauling? Fireworks? Heavy metals. 25 tons of heavy metals. Yeah. Heavy metals. That's a narrow lane, I would say. Oh, it's almost night. Looks kind of dark around here, huh? Yeah. Getting dark. 7:45 in the evening. I could turn on my parking lights. Why not? And I still have the searing headlights of doom. Drive, drive, drive. I don't know if we'll complete this journey on stream. Oh, I wonder whether I'll have to sleep in the middle. Oh, next rest stop in 5:50. Yeah. Actually, some of that is, Oh, I'm not even going on a ferry. I'm just hopping across the channel and going to London. Okay. Yep, there's no ferry ride on that. Random Stranger says, any update on that Tetris project? Yes, you just missed a bit of, brainstorming, theory crafting about, how tomorrow is going to be Tetris, and I have to, find a way to do the next feature, which is probably going to be rotating an active piece. Because if you recall, each piece has a... the active piece is a dictionary, and one of the values it stores is a list of the coordinates for the canvas rectangles that compose the visual representation of the piece. So I will use those and find the minimum and maximum values for the x and y coordinates, because I was saying that's a very wiggly road. So okay. Was I bumping into the side there? I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think I could have turned any differently. Anyway. So I was saying the shape, which is the 2D list with, you know, strings in it. The top and bottom rows each have at least one filled cell, and same for the left and right columns. So I will go through the shape, and I will go through the piece coordinates, and I'll go through the shape, the piece coordinates, and the piece itself. And the piece itself is actually just integers, IDs to refer to canvas objects. So when you do create rectangle on a canvas, it'll return like 0, for example. And that's child object number 0. Then you create something else and it gets 1, etc. And those are just IDs. It's probably like a list of some kind internally. So, time for lights. So I will go through all of those things together, and then I will determine... Oh, I can just look through the shape and increase the... go through a range of the coordinates. Like if I have the minimum x being 200, for example, it'll be 200 for the first one if there's something there, and the next one will be 200 plus square width, and then the next one 200 plus square width again, and that and then if there should be a square there, I will reconfigure one of the canvas objects from the active piece. That's about it. Should be very doable. I don't foresee any crazy stuff. So, I have a plan. That's rather unusual. I have an actual plan for what I'm gonna do with that. Then I'll need the settle method. Settle's gonna check whether we lost, and then it's gonna check whether there's any rows to clear. What else? Something to clear rows. Look and feel, but it all seems visible, I want to say. Seems like something that we can do. Not, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff to do, but I don't really know what it is, but we'll find out as we get to it. No, I have a plan. Don't worry, I have a plan. Might even be good too. And that'll be tomorrow. I don't know how much we'll get done. I'm guessing just the rotate stuff will be a reasonable half an hour to an hour, maybe. Would be great. And then other features will be for another day. At some point I have to create the music and sound effects, so that's a thing. I have to figure out that setup. Random Stranger says, now we're onto something, right? Plan and stuff. Yeah. Plan. I think it's good, actually. A reasonable plan, and specific too. We'll go through these objects, and we have this, and then we'll have minimum and maximum values for these, etc. Should be fine. And I have to figure out a setup for recording the music and sound effects. I'll probably use Audacity and see what I can do with that. Maybe I'll add the sound card I usually use is a little USB sound card, very handy, that came with the headset. But there's built-in audio on the motherboard in some fashion, so maybe I'll try that. Then I'll have basically 2 audio channels, and I can tell Audacity to only listen in and record on one of them. I don't know. I really don't know. Ooh, when do I have to sleep? 3.5 hours. Okay. All is well. I'm not sure what we'll do after Tetris, as far as coding. Maybe we'll just have more games every day again, until I think of something fascinating. There's a lot of bloom in this. I looked in the settings to try to turn it down, but it's not a thing apparently. So, it's gonna have to be soon for the sleeping. Soon. Tetris. I'm excited about Tetris. It's a very recognizable game. Very recognizable. Random Stranger says in chat, after Tetris, encryption. Encryption is one of those things that... The key about encryption is that it's a little different from most consumer programs. If you want to write a text document, you open up your text program and you say, I want to do this, and you hope that it does that. And if it's got some weird bug where it, say it freezes if you try to move the cursor to the left when it's at the beginning of the document or something, I don't know, then you just remember not to do that, and maybe they can fix it later. But with encryption and security stuff, there's no workaround for a bug. A bug is an actual flaw, and people will be trying to find bugs instead of trying to avoid bugs. That's the key. That's the key. In programs intended for the average consumer, they want it to work properly. With security, the people who will most often be facing your program are people who want it not to work properly. So, there's a... What's the exact saying? Oh yes, cryptography is hard. Amateur cryptography ends up being, well, you didn't consider this, and this is solvable. So now your program is worthless. For learning and stuff, it's fine. Like if you want to encrypt strings to have A turn into 1, B turn into 2, etc. You can do that. It's just a mapping. Or like a list with none. No, that would be a dictionary, I guess, because we'd have to look things up with the key of the letter. But to some degree, it's doable. It's not practical. None of the things the average programming student will make in encryption can be at all usable in the real world. If you make like a game or something, and it's fun, then maybe it can turn into a thing that people play. I was already having fun in the half-completed Tetris thing, moving things around and down and trying to get complete rows, even though I know it's not gonna do anything. But it's but encryption is it can be a good learning exercise. So that's an idea. But you got to be very careful about making sure that none of the ideas you use will be going somewhere important or critical. I almost hit the wall and overturned the rig. Almost. But then I didn't. Random Stranger says, it's really complicated though. It certainly is. So we can do some projects in the field of encryption. Ooh, where's a stopping point? This is a problem. Right over here. Okay. I think we can do that in an hour and a half. so we can look into it and maybe do some kind of fun programs. But just gotta keep in mind, you can't use that for actual crypto things, because someone will figure it out and then break your program intentionally. This is how people yawn in Europe. Oh. It's just a regular yawn. Speaking of Europe, I want some yogurt. For a moment, I thought those utility pole things were trees, because they were brown for most of them, and the top was green. A little weird. Paint it like a tree. Sorry, sir, what do you mean? I want it to be a tree, so do it. Okay, it's right over there. I think we can make it. I think we can make it. I hope. It's raining. What's up with that? We must be in Europe. Does it really rain all the time in Europe, I wonder? Does it rain in the summer? I've heard the expression summer storms. Doesn't happen around here. In the California Bay Area, it is basically a desert. When it rains, people forget how to drive and go, oh good, finally raining. I hope it rains a bunch, because we're in a drought, a severe drought. People are ripping up their lawns and putting in, like, rocks and stuff. It's kinda bad. It's oddly localized, though. Like in very northern California, and especially in Oregon. Our next door neighbors, it rains a lot there. Visited a friend last year, I want to say. And yeah, I'm going here. I see it. There was a triple rainbow. Nobody cared. Because it happens all the time. I'm gonna actually fill up on gas. If I can stop. Thank you. Thank you very much. Diesel. Many liters of diesel. So we can drive kilometers, for which we pay euros. Europe. Do that. Now this, and off we go. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. The windshield wipers. Didn't remember to turn them back on. It's okay. Money. Felt a little close there in front. That's okay. We are driving heavy metals. Yeah. Heavy metals. 25 tons of heavy metals. I wish we weren't taking several of these things, so we could just be driving heavy metal. That would be neat. 14 hours of driving ahead of us, so probably more like 8 or 9. Is that like 20 minutes driving? That sounds like a lot. Been going for 50 minutes. I'll tell you what. We will finish this delivery. We will do this one. And we will get 100 grand. We're gonna do this one tonight. We can do it. Drive all the way across Europe, go to the channel, take the channel, drive to London. Some of the steps in that procedure are easier than others. Step 1, drive across Europe. Step 2, go to the channel. Step 3, take the channel. It's not really. That's the easy part. Oh, am I exiting here? Is this an exit? Yes. Can we actually slow down? Okay. I think we don't actually have to go that slowly, do we? Seems fine. Didn't even want me to slow down to 40 kph, so on we go. Income, income, income. That's a lot of messages. I like when it's income of like 200 euros, and it's like, that's great. That's great. Rolling in the cash. A new garage costs 180,000. You're gonna give me like 300. Every little bit counts. And keep in mind, those drivers that don't seem to do very much now, they are new. They will learn the ropes of our happy little trucking company, and they will figure it out, and they will make more money. Like this guy, 3,739 euros. That's not bad. Not bad. You will be glad to know that I have not yet gone into my actual car in real life and gone through every stop sign and red light speeding. Still able to separate Euro Truck Simulator 2 from life. 9,700. It's over 9,000. What's this? What's this? What's going on? Is this doable? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's fine. Not sure. Will I have to sleep again before the end of this trip? I am not certain. Let's look at the numbers. 9 hours, 45 minutes. 12 hours, we'll get there. Should be doable. If we really step on it. Step on it. But we have 31 hours to go. So we could easily rest for another 10 hours and bring that to like a total of 20. And I won't actually be... No, not 20. 10 hours and bring it to a total of 22. With 8 hours to spare. But it won't actually take me 12 hours to drive this 12 hours worth. Because it uses the speed limit in its estimate. So, let's drive really fast, shall we? Really fast. At 11 hours I will check, and hopefully I'll be awake for more than 5.5 hours at that point. I could check anytime, but I want easy math. Easy. Oh, 9 hours. Yeah, that's fine. Just 2/11ths. That's 18%. And I'm going nearly double the speed limit. So that's... But I mean, it just goes. I have to exit up ahead. I ought to slow down for that. But if I wasn't exiting, there would be no problem. 40. I ain't doing that. Unless I have to. $80 would have been a reasonable limit. Might want to keep it at 80. Okay, I'll go like 83. It's fine. A little more. It's fine. Katie Clark is in chat. Hello. How's it going? We are here, which is over here, which is over here, and here's Europe. That's what we're doing. I don't know why it only starts here. Did I mess something up? Or reroute? I don't think so. We started in Bratislava, way over here. So, we've come a long way, and we have a long way to go. But 10 hours for the trip, and that's not 10 hours of driving. That's 10 hours projected until we arrive. So, but the tunnel is like half an hour-ish. It's pretty quick. It's not like we're taking the ferry all the way up to like Newcastle or something. 16-hour ferry trip. That's a serious ferry. I suppose it's only for like freight stuff. Because really, if it's a choice between a 16-hour ferry trip and like flying for a couple hours, most people are just gonna fly for a couple hours. Because I've done long road trips before. It's bad. I guess a ferry isn't quite as bad because you don't have to pay attention and be driving, etc. But still, 16-hour trip. Rather a lot. You gotta sleep on that. And then, like, wait around for several more hours. But, who knows what they do on these while they're waiting for the ferry to just go. Come on, ferry, just get there. I had to take the ferry over to Newcastle upon Tyne. I needed to deliver some heels for shoes. 12 tons of them. In those days, Euros had pictures of bumblebees on them. This is a reference to an old Simpsons episode where there was a strike at the nuclear plant, and Mr. Burns wanted, that's bad, that's bad. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Mr. Burns wanted some strike breakers, and he wanted the old ones that he knew were good. But those got old, unsurprisingly. So, we can't bust heads like we used to, but we can tell long rambling stories that don't go anywhere. Like the time I needed a new heel for my shoe. Like the time I took the ferry over to Shelbyville. I needed a new heel for my shoe, so I took the ferry over to Morganville, which is what they called Shelbyville in those days. And so on and so forth. Nichols had pictures of bumblebees on him. Give me 5 bees for a quarter, you'd say. Anyway, the important part is that I had an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time. We didn't have the white onions on account of the war. All we had were the yellow onions. And he's telling the story, and Mr. Burns and Mr. Smithers are just like, do we really have to listen to this? Yes. Yes, you do. Random Stranger says, hey, before writing any code on computer, do you also make notes or write it somewhere else, like a notebook? It depends. If I think I'm just kinda planning in general terms, like, I'm not actually writing this, but it would be something like this. I'm just gonna write some pseudocode, and to make sure that the pseudocode is like clear, it's gonna be, you know, actual syntax that I can run. Sometimes it happens with Python. The joke, not the old joke, but the joke, because it's something that I saw. My joke. I had a Java professor who wrote some pseudocode on the board one day. And I was looking at it, and I was thinking, if he puts like a colon right over there, that's runnable Python. It wasn't quite that close, but it was like, this is almost Python. You could just write it in Python and be done and run it. So, Java programmers write pseudocode in Python. C programmers write pseudocode in Java. Assembly programmers write pseudocode in C. And so on and so forth. It's funny. But, oh, I'm in 12th year already. I tried to shift up and nothing happened. I'm like, what? Because you're already going fast enough, sir. So I might make some kind of notes or pseudocode or ideas. Actually, yes, I had a large notepad text file full of notes when I was a technical writer a couple years ago. I actually wrote some programs while I was there, because we had some content management system, etc. And the checkout process was weird, and you needed to open the command prompt and do console commands, etc. It was really annoying. So I'm like, I bet I could make a GUI for that, because I had learned Python a few months before in school, and they were like, really? I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And that was a horrible process, full of people not telling me what things were, and never being able to find out how things were supposed to look, and what the files would look like, and how to get into the server, and anything. And after several months, it ended up that we were about to ditch the whole system anyway, obsoleting the entire thing. So basically I wrote it until it was what people said it should be, and then I did a screen recording and recorded a test run of checking out something or other in an automated way, because it was pretty time consuming. Had to fetch something from the server, took 30 seconds, and then write your description of the change that you made, do something else for each file that you worked on. It was kind of annoying, which is probably why they got rid of the whole thing. But instead of sitting at your computer doing these commands for, I don't know, half an hour, you could enter your little options in the tk-enter GUI. This is a little weird. Oh, I just haven't been here before. Okay. That's what the gray means, unexplored. You entered the description of what change you made and what file it was, etc., and all the little boxes, and then you set it to run, and you could go out to lunch. So I recorded a run just in time, a few days before it was actually ended, made inaccessible. But yes, there were many notes of figuring out what to do, how to do it. That was it was an interesting project, but ultimately futile. I talked to the expert on it, and he'd be like, "Why are you doing that when we're getting rid of it in a few months?" And I would go to my boss and say, the expert says we're getting rid of that system in a few months. Is that true?" "No. No, it's not. Keep working." He doesn't know what he's talking about. We go back and forth for a while, till eventually, oh, I guess we are getting rid of that. Okay. Might have been good to, believe me and believe the expert, instead of saying, no, it's preposterous, impossible. Just, like, talk to him and say, I don't think that what you are saying is accurate. I think we will be continuing to use this system. On what do you base your conclusion that we are getting rid of it? And then they could look at evidence that, but no. It was just, no, that's impossible. It was possible. We were getting rid of it. Katie Clark asks, any project idea you would like to suggest to application sorta? Do you mean for me for the stream? Because for that, I can't think of very much. If you mean for a programming student, yes, there are many ideas. But to finish the answer to that question, generally I just, for the streams especially, just kind of sit around in front of Notepad++. Why does it want me to go... It wanted me to go to the right, to the service area? That's weird. I just sit in front of an editor and start writing code. So it depends on what the project is. If I have a good idea of what I need for the Star Trek Online chat log parser, I did take notes of what the chat format was, which turned out to be wrong. We had to change that, if you recall. But for small things, like a lot of the things we've done on stream, I just kind of start writing stuff. I write class app, and then I go down and say, root equals tk.tk, app equals app root.main loop, and then I go, okay, what now? I'm sure you've seen that. Katie Clark says group project. So a project to do in a group for your programming class, I assume. Possibly in Python. It's the best language. I prefer English over Python. I have more expertise in that. But I will start by telling you what a bad project would be. Examples of bad projects are RPGs, role-playing games. What is this? A little too far. It's fine. So why are RPGs not a good choice, you may ask? Because, like text-based RPGs, choose your own adventure stuff. Because once you have more than 2 levels with 2 branches each, you are learning nothing. There's no mechanics or algorithms to design beyond that, and all you're doing is writing reams of text and proofreading English. So they can be fun to make, fun to play, but you're not going to learn a whole lot about programming from them. So that's not a good project. Another unsuitable project is a calculator. Unless you are making a calculator that we can add 2 numbers, or subtract 2 numbers, or multiply 2 numbers, or divide 2 numbers. Something really, really simple and basic, then maybe, sort of. But if you want any kind of, like, this could be a useful calculator sort of thing, writing one with a general programming language for full computers is very different from doing that for a platform like a pocket calculator. which is literally unable to do anything but be a calculator. Meanwhile, computers are capable of being a lot more than a calculator. They can create a virus and send emails to everyone on your address book, etc. Which means that you can't just say evaluate. Put some kind of Python syntax into this text field, and we'll just evaluate it as Python code. That's really bad, because someone can put in Python code that isn't 3 plus 2 to the 8th power. They can put in, like, delete your hard drive code. So you can't do that. And then you're left with a gigantic mess of trying to sanitize and parse the input. Splitting, string operations, regular expressions. It is an abominable mess. And no one deserves to be saddled with such a project. So don't make an RPG. There's not enough to learn. And don't make a calculator. It is deceptively difficult to do it right with a general purpose programming language. Good ideas are simple games because first, most people know the common games. Like if you say, let's play Hangman. Most people generally kind of know how to play Hangman. So you're likely to be familiar with the rules. And speaking of which, they have rules. And rules means an algorithm to implement. Learn programming. That's what they'll help you do. Making an RPG, you can learn if statements. If they choose this path, go there. If they choose the other path, go the other way. 1,000,000 times. But if you have, say, Hangman, I think that's one of my streams. If you want to look at the archive, you can, you have some interesting things to do, like randomizing a word, not randomizing a word, selecting a random word from some collection of words, comparing a guess to the word, displaying the current status, etc. So there's interesting things to do, and that's the key part of a programming project. I think I've mentioned before, my second quarter Java class had a final group project the last month of the class, which was a media library. The previous quarter we had done an address book. Media library was the exact same thing, only with inheritance. So instead of just a class of person, it would have a class of media, which was further subclassed into book and game, etc. It was really dumb. Just like this turn, because there's no room. I actually got through that okay, neat. But there was like nothing new to it, except inheritance, which was not that complicated, and a GUI, which we had 0 instruction on. It was just, oh, by the way, you have to do this with the GUI. First we could choose, and the teacher's like, no, you have to use the GUI. I don't know how, but you have to do it. Here's some simple graphical program that I found on the interwebs. It doesn't work, and I don't know why. That was all the instruction we got on that. That was pretty awful. So that was a month of reams and reams of code. Not reams. A ream is 500 pages. But kilobytes of code. Way too much. Gigantic files full of nonsense. And one day, I've told this story on stream before, one day I was like, I've been using Python for what, a year or 2 years or something. I'm gonna write that month-long group project in Python. And it took me a few hours. Used a TTK notebook for tabs, and that was it. It was like, huh, Python's a lot faster to do things with. Yes. If Python can do something that another program can do, or that another language can do, I should say, it's probably going to be easier. There are many things that Python is not very good at, like complex 3D graphics. And so, people just don't do that. It's not a thing. Especially because complex 3D graphics, like for AAA modern video game titles, wouldn't be fast enough in Python. Python is fast enough for some things, but if you want to add as much detail to your game as possible, while still maintaining some baseline frame rate, hopefully 60 frames a second or more, then if you want it to run as fast as possible, then you don't use Python. Because Python is as easy to write as possible, basically. It does not have an emphasis on speed. Random Stranger says, exactly, RPGs are boring. Actually, we were working on AI. That's pretty cool. I haven't really done anything with that. AI, machine learning. I've heard of it, if that counts. But, oh, we're 10 minutes away. If I tip the rig now, I'm gonna be displeased. But, yeah. Don't make an RPG. Don't make a calculator. Make a simple game. And not like a video game like Mario or whatever. That's not what I mean. I mean a children's game or a traveling game or a board game. Something that doesn't require timing or physics and has a small, easily understandable rule set. Python. I'm a little tired. Hangman. Battleship. I don't remember if I've done Battleship on stream. I don't think I have. Battleship. Oh, pedestrians. Hello. Going too fast to watch them and make sure they don't disappear. That's okay. Hangman, Battleship, Blackjack, Poker, various card games, Solitaire. If you're learning computer science and that sort of thing, you might try a Minesweeper, because you'll learn about, you know, breadth first versus depth first searches, etc. Minesweeper could be good. I don't think we've done that on stream. Might be fun. I don't know. But, small, simple games. Puzzles, basically. Those are good options. Here's the heavy metals you wanted. Or is it? Nope. Perfect. Good enough for me. bonus for parking the trailer, 15 XP. It used to be 45. Was this a patch thing? Did I get transmission upgrade, but lose 2/3 of the trailer park? It's not going to be worth it anymore. Like, Katie Clark says, let's play Euro Truck Simulator, more like Python Q&A stream. It can be both. It can be both. Some Let's Play videos on various YouTube channels are a Let's Play video with talking about news or some other topic of interest. But not live, necessarily. They'll just, record themselves playing a game, just the footage, no camera, and then record a voiceover later, which is fine. But I do it live. So, I don't know if I'm gonna park the trailer anymore. That is nerfed so hard it is gutted. 15 XP? Like, and it takes a minute. It takes like mad skills and whatnot. And now it's just 15 XP, nothing else. It's not really worth it to do anymore. So I think that might be the stream, unless there are other questions I would be very happy to answer while I'm here and you're here. Is there a small quick job? Nope. Did I forget to change the options back? Yes. Katie Clark asks, your second favorite subject? Second favorite. First favorite. For talking about on stream, Python's a good choice, I think. I don't know. Games? Games are always good. Except when they're not. Or when they just don't grab me. That Assault Android Cactus game, it was okay. I just didn't care about it. It was like, it's a twin stick arcade style shooter. Arcade style twin stick shooter. It's good. It's well done, like good job developers. But I mean, I played for a few hours in total and it was just move around an overhead view and like point and shoot things. And the only challenge is shoot things as fast as you can or else you die. So that got kinda boring for me pretty quickly. Random Stranger says, because why not? Probably to the stream is a little delayed. There's like 20 or 30 seconds. I have two options with that. I can optimize for less buffering, meaning that it waits a little more to get more video data, to reduce the chances that the stream will kind of appear to halt for a few seconds at a time while it gets more data. Or I can optimize for interaction, meaning low latency. Just send whatever you have as soon as you have it, so there's less of a delay. So why not is probably to the games stuff. I mean, I have other interests. I like dogs. Everyone likes dogs, or should like dogs. Dogs are humanity's children. So you're kind of supposed to like them. Like, you have to. It's a thing. Is it worth driving from here to the tunnel, going across there and driving across here? Can I do that in 16 hours? Probably. This is 16 hours, 12 hours. What is this, like 4? I could probably make it. Eh. Is there anything good near here? Signs point to no. Tons of electronics. 8 tons of NES Classic Editions. Going to eBay scalpers for them to sell at $500 a pop. Have I complained about this already? I don't know. Sometimes it blends together. But it's the NES Classic. I will go on record right now as saying it is a pointless product. It's a teeny tiny NES clone replica with basically a mini PC that has an emulator and 30 games, NES games. And the cables for the controller are 2.5 feet long. Have fun with that, right? I say it's a pointless product because anyone with any interest in NES games has had 30 years to figure it out. Anyone who is not sufficiently interested in NES games to have looked into them in the past 30 years isn't gonna want one of these, except as, oh, I remember this, my friend had one, or, you know, I had one for a few years, and, I remember that from a few decades ago. I'm gonna buy one of those and play it for a few minutes, and then remember that the games are hard, because they aren't very well designed for the most part, and, I would rather play a modern game, or, you know, go hiking, or do things that adults do. Because the people who had an NES in their childhoods are no longer children. They're like 35, 40 nowadays. Katie Clark asks how to differentiate and integrate using Python. If you mean calculus, I don't know. Maybe there's a library for it. SymPy. I've heard math things about SymPy. SYMPY. Look into that, I guess. But as far as writing code to do these things yourself by hand, I have no idea. I took 3 quarters of calculus. In the first one, I got an A. Second one, I got a B. Third one, I got a B again. We had a multiple choice final, and I think I just got incredibly lucky. But, yeah, I don't know how to do any of that. Calculus is strange to me. What am I... Is there anywhere good to go? Amsterdam? Maybe I can go north? Something? Shall I explore instead? Maybe that's an idea. Map, map, map. I haven't explored this or that. Maybe I can go here and then continue on there to the end. Take that one out, please. Let's do that. Oh, there's these things. I'm gonna hop into those. That's what I'll do. Stop. Alright. Up we go with the wheels. And driving on the left, Britain. Britain. It's so weird. But not as weird as using a British vehicle. That stuff is weird. Here we are. All right. Room. Oh, I missed those things. Okay, I'll turn around. Make a U-turn. Something you cannot do in the trailer. Did I really just do that? Did I really? I think I did really. Whatever. I'll just go fix it. Whatever. Clonk. Ran into a fence. Random stranger says, by the way, we are in the same class and in the same group, which you mentioned earlier as a group project. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Your teacher didn't have, you must make a media library for this project. It must have inheritance. That's pretty cool. Because you don't necessarily get good projects when the teacher just says, do whatever. Do whatever I say. Especially if the teacher is kind of out of their depth. Ow. Ouch, my truck. I was going a little fast there. That's fine. Clank, clonk. Let's find a mechanic. Let's find a mechanic. So yes, small games. Not small video games, necessarily. Because video games often have physics and timing. Is this not open? Is there another entrance? There must be. Is it this next one here? I bet it is. Alright. Back up the truck. You could try Battleship. I don't think I've done that on stream. So it'll be new and exciting for you. Where is that mechanic? Is it over there? Around? I don't know where it is. Is it this thing? I am not really... That goes a lot faster than only having one reverse gear. That's pretty cool. I wonder how fast I can go in reverse. We'll not be testing that today. I've clonked the truck enough. The truck today has been clonked like a settling Tetris piece. Clonk. 4 grand? Really? A lot of the chassis. Cabin, wow. Fine, I don't care. Fine. Is there anything in the upgrade shop these days, actually? Anything good here? Nope. Nope. Nothing exciting. Already won the game in this regard. The space. I have no idea what it means. That's okay. Katie asks, how were you as a student? That's an interesting question. Depends on the class. For the Unix class, that I remember none of, I was an excellent student. For my C class, not so great. For my chemistry class, very bad, because the class was awful. Funny story time. I had a chemistry class in high school, and I hated it, because it was really awful. That is not the entire story. The teacher was very pedantic. Like one day, I had an equation that simplified down to 4/6, and I wrote 2/3, because 4/6 is 2/3. I got points off. Because chemistry doesn't involve math sometimes? I don't know. And so, Random Stranger says, yay, story time. Yes. So one day, this is in 10th grade. So I was, how old are people in 10th grade? 15, 16, somewhere around there. I was telling my dad, this chemistry class is, not good in various terms. I can never get these things the way the teacher wants them. And I think I'm understanding the material. I can't get points. I just can't do it. And my dad's like, okay. Now, my dad happens to be a multiple major, not just a double major. He majored in undergrad physics and mechanical engineering. Physics because it was fun, and mechanical engineering also because his father told him that it was more practical and easier to get a job as a mechanical engineer than as a physicist, which is true. But he took physics also because it was a good time. He was the kind of student who would ditch class with his buddy because the teacher and the textbook were bad, or just the teacher and the class was no good. And so they would hop the fence and go home and study. And the school would call their parents and be like, do you know where your child is? Yeah, he's right here at the kitchen table studying with his buddy, 'cause your school has a bad teacher there for that class. And they go, oh. So that's the kind of student my dad was. Physics and mechanical engineering, and then master's and PhD in mechanical engineering. So chemistry, which is really physics, right, which he knows. So he says, okay, look, I'm going to do one of your homeworks for you to show you that it is possible. Show you how it's done. And then you'll look at that and you'll see, okay, it's doable, I'll just learn how to do it, etc. So there was a big whiteboard in my sister's bedroom, and so he did an entire homework assignment of mine on this whiteboard. A big whiteboard. 8 by 4 feet big on a wall. Not like a little thing. Filled the whiteboard. And literally all I did was the old manual version of copy-paste. Look at what he wrote and write it down. I just copied everything down. He literally did the homework for me. He got an F. And then he was like, okay, yeah, you can drop that class. You can go ahead and do that if you want. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. He got an F. He's still sore about it to this day. It's been, 15 years? And he still remembers, and he's still, yeah, failed that stupid homework. Darn chemistry teacher. Yeah. So that class didn't do too great in. JavaScript class did okay there. I didn't really like JavaScript because I would do things like, okay, my program isn't producing any output or is making some other error. I don't know what's wrong, so I can't really debug it. But it's due right now in like 2.5 minutes, so I guess I'll just turn it in as is, what I have. And then teacher says, oh, this is pretty good. I mean, there is one small typo causing a bug that you should have, would have seen in testing. Except I did test it and it didn't work. So I couldn't find that bug. Didn't do well in my computer architecture class because the teacher's style was, the first thing he grades is the final. And, there's responses coming through in chat. Katie says, Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste the homework. Yes, that is one of my favorite stories. When my dad got an F on a homework. A high school chemistry homework. With like 4 degrees. Yeah. But, first thing the teacher would grade is the final. And then if he couldn't determine a grade through that, he would, I don't know where I'm driving, by the way. Am I just driving around London? I don't even know. Southampton, where are these things? So, ooh, perfect. Reset the fatigue meter. If he couldn't figure out a grade through the final, meaning like not a passing grade, basically, he would look at the tests, and if he couldn't do it with that, he would look at the labs, and then the homeworks. There was a whole ton of stuff that he was assigning and expecting turned in, but he never looked at any of it while the class was in session. It would be only after it was done and too late to learn from anything. So I was like, okay, I'm doing British driving right now, apparently. Even though I'm in like Klagenfurt. That's not in Britain. But one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna be like responsible student, whatever. Instead of being like, well, he's not gonna grade it, so he's not gonna grade it, whatever. There's no feedback, so I don't get any feedback. I asked him. I said, here's the homework or the lab I've just turned in, and I had some concerns about it, and I would like to check it with you. And then he got back to me saying, looks great. I knew it was not great. I knew it was absolutely awful. It was in MIPS assembly. Like, did all trucks get multiple reverse gears with this patch? I don't know. If it was a patch. I still am not certain. But he said, looks good. It was MIPS assembly. We had been learning how to do loops in assembly, which means loops in assembly, which means manipulating a stack pointer and moving it on each iteration, and then, doing assembly commands to it's not as easy as Python, which is what I was used to at that point. And what I was doing in this homework or lab or whatever was, instead of doing a loop to move the pointer back, I hard-coded everything. That was the only way I could figure out to get it to work, and I'm like, I know this should be a loop, but I don't know how to do it. So teacher, could you teach how to do that? Explain, I don't understand. Looks fine. I'm like, okay. Okay. 15 XP, it's not worth it to park the trailer anymore. It's just really not. Any more of those? Salzburg. It's not in Britain, so I get a regular truck instead of a backwards truck. So yeah, it depends on the class. Some I did better, some not as well. I had a qualitative research class in undergrad that was really, really hard for me. Qualitative was easy. Quantitative was easy. Where do I have to handle job delivery? Where is it? What is this? What is this? I've never seen this dialogue before. Sorry, I'm in a hurry now. Skip. 0, 15, 40. Negotiate for a backup place. So this is negotiate for something. Pull it forward, back it in, or just skip. Let's... oh, different location. So I can just pull forward and to the left, or I can do the normal one. That's how it would usually be. Of course I would do that. I've never seen that before. Gave me options. Very strange. Hey, come back here with our equipment. Oh, we're right there, okay. Like, I've been doing this for 100 hours or whatever it is. Suddenly gives me the option to have a whole bunch of alternatives. Strange. 40 instead of 45, still a nerf. They nerfed my trailer parking XP. 50 years ago, no one would have expected that to be a phrase that anyone would ever say. It would not be a thing. They nerfed my trailer parking experience. It would be like, some of those are English words, not all of them, some of them, and none of them make any sense together. But that's how it is sometimes. So, I think that might be the stream for today, because I've been going for an hour 50. I'm a little tired. But tomorrow, Python, Tetris, T3 Tris, because it's backwards E, it's funny. So yeah, we will do that tomorrow. It should be rather exciting when it's, when we get it to work. And we have a plan, kind of preliminary idea of how we're going to achieve that. And I have almost 800,000 euros here. I should probably buy a garage and some trucks and hire some drivers. But, so that's gonna be the stream for tonight. I wish you luck on your group project, Katie and Random Stranger. And yeah, pick a simple game. Not simplistic, but a game with a set of rules that you can understand and implement, and some kind of puzzle, something. Generally a good idea. I don't know if I would recommend anything that I've done on stream, because then you could just watch the stream, and then it's hard to design things yourself once you've already seen it. Things cannot be unseen. But if you've watched them and don't remember exactly how to do it, then maybe that could be a good project. Implement it yourself. But how about Battleship? That could be good. I don't think I've done that on stream, and it's reasonable game-wise. So I'm gonna be really embarrassed if I've done Battleship on stream and just don't remember, but I don't think I have. Should be okay. So thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for stopping by and chat. It's great to have people to have a conversation with, to rant about the NES Classic 2, right? The reason Nintendo does so well and everyone buys their stuff is because it's of high quality and it's good. That's basically it. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me in chat. And I will see you tomorrow with Python Tetris. Thank you, and have a good one.